testing the mic, seeing if it's working appropriately. Looks like it is. Excellent. Welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully my audio is coming out clear. Might get some echoing here. I gotta just check it out real quick on my phone. So nice. Look at that. Perfect. Finally back to my original mic. This had been a problem. I guess I had to reinstall the drivers. There's a latest update for what is it? Our little Windows, and it completely burnt out my drivers here. So yeah. Music off. If you guys are interested in what I was just listening to, I posted the link here in chat. There's gonna be. I'll post it again. I have been listening to like 80s synthwave mix type stuff, cyberpunk inspired stuff. So I love it, man. Here we have. So last time, if you tuned in last time, we were over here. I was kind of just goofing off and put in a little guy here for a quest that's impossible to finish. Because, well, for comedic purposes. And then another thing that happened is kind of started to visualize this village here of goblins and what's going to happen here. And this is a fishing village here, and what's important about these guys specifically is that they are mean. I guess is the best way to say it. They're not. What happened? The storyline goes like this. So if you have the Pyramid of Shadows now, you can't go forth because there's a giant boulder in the way, and it's what's going on is there's been a cave-in, or the sides have collapsed or something. Well, what people don't know, what people don't realize here in the village yet, is that it was an ambush, or there was something that happened here for a reason. This boulder that was pushed down for a reason, and that was so these goblins could establish a village here, establish a camp, had enough time to kind of sort things out and build a community and build their tents and whatnot. And so now they've extended all the way out here, and they have extended further. We just haven't built that in to the map yet. They are planning something. So what's going to happen is I'll be building this small village here. This is kind of the first time you meet them, you see them, you greet them, all that stuff. So I was using prefabs to make these things, and test. And that's kind of where I'll slightly continue with all this, is just keep going with the tent looking thing going on here, and just kind of building slowly and adjusting as I want to my liking. This one does not have a tree, which is great, and we'll just plop it down right here for now. And that's kind of what we want. I want to just have different things here. Here's a nice coastal one. That's perfect. And you know what? I'll actually probably plop that down right here. And I'll adjust all these things after I'm done. This is perfect right here. I'll just put this right over hither, and double click that. When you have prefabs, they come automatically grouped together. You don't have to do much, which is great, right? Right. I'm looking for answers that agree with me. Is that right or wrong? That's right. So here's what we'll do. We'll double click again. Sorry, Control. I always forget which one's which. And deselect the ones I don't want to move quite yet. Move them on my own, because some of them came below the some of that stuff went below the terrain. Okay, deselect that guy. All right, that's probably good. And get this thing on the ground. I kind of wish that I could just enable a drop on it, where I could just say, all right, drop to how you want to, conform to the terrain, just go for it, and see how things go there. That would be groovy, man. All right, this looks pretty good. Perfect there. This outhouse is pretty cool, man. It's looking pretty bad, pretty stinky, pretty great. What I like about these prefabs is you could lay them down, get them where you want them, and then adjust them as needed. This one was specifically made by an ex-member who is no longer a member of my Discord, which is sad because we miss her dearly. But she made these cool prefabs along with the composer. He's made some. Actually, he pulled some out of the game and kind of just made what they already had, which was pretty sweet, and those can be used as well. And here we go. And what's nice about prefabs is they're completely shareable. So if you make a prefab, you can just dump the file into a share folder or something like that, and somebody can pick it up and use it, which is awesome. Now, I don't. This is an item, and I don't really want an item. What happens with these items is they have a script attached to them, like a teleport script. And I don't particularly want the teleport script. I don't want people to teleport anywhere. I just want them to kind of walk through. So I'm going to get rid of that, apply it, so there's nothing that they will hit on accident, I guess, so to speak. Let's see if this is fadeable. I think it is. Fadeable. Boom. Actually, let's just go see-through instead. See-through, yeah. And this one is see-through as well. See-through, I think, makes a little silhouette of your character, is what happens. So when you walk through, it just kind of makes well, we could always test it out. It'll make like an aura around you so you could see where you're going. And fadeable is, it fades the whole entire object out. So depending on what you want to do. I like see-through, but I also like fadeable. So roof is good when it's fadeable. So let's see how this. So yeah, there's that silhouette I'm talking about. So you could see through when you as you walk. There's some stuff that is not see-through, and we'll fix that. Oh, apparently my light probes are taking. That's good. Man, that took some time there. I think I'm installing a Windows update or something at the same time. There we go. There's our little guy. See-through, please. There we go. So now when we walk through, it'll actually, you could see your own little silhouette there. Let me see if this is almost done. Oof, installing 73%. Oof, that's probably why. At least I'm not dropping frames. Word up. All right, so we'll leave that alone for now because that's kind of way in the distance for us to mess with. So here's some prefabs that were made by Larian that the composer Tommy has pulled out and converted into usable prefabs for us to use. Oh no, these are not Tommy. These are regular buildings. Sorry, I don't think he made any that are tents. These are just regular prefabs developed by the game. Apologize about that one. All right, and I'm not really too big of a fan of these kind of circular ones too much. I'll use them, but they all kind of remind me of circus tents, and I'm not particularly fond of the circus. So it's nothing like, I'm not like traumatized by it or anything. I just don't care for it. Okay, and then let's put a little tilt action on it. Ideally, you want to tilt all your stuff before rotating it anywhere, just so it has a good tilt. And then this stuff right here that clips in, we could fix that with just regular old scenery, cover up. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's cover up. Oh, you know what? Did I just screw this up here? Yeah, I think I did. Let's undo that. I wanted that right where it was, I think. Okay, and then this. So this is where you would ideally start doing this stuff. So you have a good XY axis, so it's not like doing weird crazy crap on you, where it's kind of shifting at a 45 degree or turning it at 45. So now after you turn this like this, it's going to get all crazy. To adjust, because see that it's on a different thing going on here. I don't mind that some of it's in the water. This is after all kind of a good spot for it, I believe. So we'll work with the water as well a little bit later. Prefabs are a really fast way to get your stuff in order. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a really quick way to get things built. I recommend using prefabs as much as possible. Make your own too. If you have time, just make a level of stuff and just start designing things. Just start putting things together out of prefabs and see what you can do. you could do pretty cool things. Make your own little houses and stuff. I made one where I made a house out of 2x4s. I think they have them in the game as wood, and so I was like, well, all right, let's build a house out of this stuff, and that was that was considerable load of load time, because after a while the tiles and all that stuff it was a lot. It was a lot of tiles and a lot of stuff. It looked good though. It looked really good. But it was just too much. It was too much in one little area. So I like that up here, but it's definitely kind of cattywampus and kind of looks garbagey a little bit. What I want to do is adjust the terrain a little bit. And how I want to do that is select a good point here and flatten it out. And then the rest of it smooth where it doesn't need to be flat, like that. So I'm taking the highest point, I guess you could say, and just kind of making it across the board. Just so it'll fit this scenery a little bit better. At least that's my way of doing it. Instead of individually adjusting the scenery. Let's smooth this out a little bit here. You know, I just realized I don't have my camera on. There we go. That's better. Hopefully it works. Here I am. There we go. That's better. That's better. You could see my head. You could put the face to the voice. Alright, so these goblins, they kind of live in peace with themselves, but they hate the human race. So we're gonna you know, explore that a little bit here. So what the heck? Select something. Man. Okay, so that is a little bit much. I want just like a single tent piece. Is that possible? Kind of like that one. That one's nice and weird, and it can kind of go anywhere. Really, it really can. So it kind of shows you how far to sink these things. You don't have to necessarily sink all these posts that deep, but it just shows you some rocks, you know, some guide points and stuff to show you, like, okay, here's, you know, where some sleeping bags and how tall they are, you know, and let's see how far down this can go. It kind of looks like it's floating a little bit. Probably because it's off by a little bit. Yeah, it does look like it's floating. And you can fix that by there it is. That's what I want. You can fix that by, where is it? There's a snap to floor, I think. Nope, not snap to step. So it's terrain. Random scale and random rotation are really nice. You guys need to be familiar with that. Snap to floor. Let's see if it'll work on already existing things. No, probably not. No, it does not. Okay, that's okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. Oh, okay, so this is already snapped to floor. You could see the sleeping bag. It's snapping the floor as soon as I move it. And I think it's just like touching the nearest object or the nearest thing. So the nearest floor piece. If you could see, it kind of pops up or down, you know, depending on where the nearest floor is. Or either that, or it looks like it's, so this leg is cropping through, and I think it's the whatever leg or whatever piece is last to touch, if that makes any sense. So if I had it like this, it's still kind of doing that, but if I lower it, maybe? Nope, okay, that's a piece of board. Maybe it just snaps to floor as the first, there's like a main bone, so to speak, like it's a foot bone of the like the pivot point, I guess. That's a good way to put it. Okay. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I think that's what's going on, is it's got a pivot point. Now, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be on the floor because of the just because of how things are. Like, oof, that's rough. Let's get rid of that snap to floor. On some of these it works great, some of them don't. Some of them don't work very well. Because I think it just wanted that. So let's get this broken basket down here. See, so snap to floor wasn't really like working out too well over there. Also probably because this basket right here is in the way for damn it. Select the basket, man. Alright, whatever. We're gonna leave it alone for now. It's fine, it's fine. Oof, 76% installation on Windows. That's good. We're good. We're cooking. So what does suck though is these once you have this position. This isn't a separate like post thing. You can't move these posts, which sucks. You can create this whole tent thing if you piece it together. There are pieces of this. There's rope, there's posts, there's rocks, things of that nature, and you can make your own tent pieces, and they do have that under scenery here. So let's see if I can find something. Market stuff. Ooh, you know what? The market stuff isn't too bad either. Look at that. That looks pretty goblin-like. That could be like where the shaman lives, right up here. The master chief of everybody. The chief goblin. The one that wants all humans dead. Humans must die. Dirty humans. Right? Is that right? It's not where he's going to live. That's not even a house, man. This is like terrible. But you could see like there's little tiny pieces like this all over. Different kinds of roofs and stuff. You can make your own like curtains and crap, refugee pieces. You could just make your own whatever you want. Add it to it, do it to it, add it to it. And get creative with it, man. Shrink this down a bit. There, and then of course scenery will come later and stuff, and a lot of this stuff will sort itself out when scenery comes around. And you guys will see. You guys will see. If you stick around long enough, you'll see. So as I'm placing all this crap down, you're going to notice that pathing takes a different approach now. So like through here, it's going to be kind of awkward to path through. You're going to be walking through the camp and stuff to get to here. Kind of, you have a thin little space here. And I don't know, I kind of want that to happen. I want you to be able to go through stuff. I've always been a fan of that. I've never liked convenience in games. When things are too convenient, when you get when you're just walking and they make things so present that you don't have to do anything, and I've never liked that in games. So trying to make this less convenient for everyone, even the goblins. It's kind of their own little community here, so I want them to be represented, I guess. You know what? Let's tighten this up. Turn it around. Whoa, I hate that. We're off the pivot point, but whatever. It's gonna be tits when it's done. By the way, that stands for that is the shit. If you're ever curious about that, that's what it is. It's a sloper term. Sloper say it. If you're wondering what a sloper is, don't worry. Nothing nothing interesting. Alright, should I raise this? I think I should. Kind of should go up a little bit. But then it looks like it is floating. Is it? No, it's not. It's good. Nice. Kind of. Yeah, let's... Is this where the maximum should be? Yeah. I think that's good. And I could totally just rod something out here. So I recommend checking out these pieces. You could do a lot with them. Make some crazy crap that makes no sense, but it does kind of. I mean, you know, what do goblins really care about? They care about hating humans, and that's it. They just care about hating humans. They don't really care about being warm or anything like that. They care about eating and hating humans, or not humans necessarily, but people. not people, but other life. They just like themselves. Man, it's really hard to select these. Let's put this up against the mountain there. I kind of like that, but it's a little close. So let's do that, and then do this. Bend it down there. How are we in scale? Okay, that looks decent. And we could copy this. Let's copy this. Which one is this one? Refugee piece J. Wonder if there's like a wedge. Oh, there is a wedge. Look at that. They gave us everything, man. They gave us everything. This wedge will come in handy. And the sun has entered.
Your dinner is done.
My dinner's done?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, I just started. I just started this. But my dinner is done.
That you missed dinner.
I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to be right there. It's all right. It's guilting me into eating dinner. Great. I like how this is just pegged into the water. That's going to hold. Oh, this is going to hold real well. This is all one big piece, right? Yeah, I think it is. Or is it? Yep, that's one big piece. Good. I could actually kind of adjust this. I could take this and stick it out here. So it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, there. I mean, I like the water and all, but it needs to be pegged somewhere, you know? Just like that. Ooh, that's mighty tall. Let's do that. Okay, these goblins care about fish and killing all humans. Kind of like robots. Also do destroy all humans. That's what they want, but these guys just want to kill them all. Okay. I'm glad they gave us so many fish barrels to work with. I was just really worried about that, but I think we have enough here. Let's drop it down to the ground. What's really nice about this, if you're like, oh, well, I wonder how my scenery's doing, you could print out collision reports. So if you have everything that's named, you know, as you're working on this, you could print out a collision report that'll tell you, hey, this is colliding with this. Your items here are clipping with this item here, you know, and your collision reports can be pretty big because just about everything is colliding with something. At least I think you could do collision reports. Let me see. I think you can. Visual sets, generate atom bounds, destructible. Maybe you can't find objects, hardcore. Maybe not. Oh, here it is. Collision, show collisions. Print collisions. On some of this stuff, I guess. Maybe not. Maybe I thought you could. Maybe item bounds. What's this? Whatever. Maybe I'm making everything up. Yep. Looks like I'm making everything up. Just kind of whatever. You cannot print collision reports. Never mind. I thought you could. Maybe you can, and maybe it's just changed somewhere else now. Okay. Make sure you got things that aren't floating. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's got floating items, but I don't know. I don't know about that either now. You can always snap it to the ground, but that could be kind of that could be hairy. Okay. I thought that was somebody's sleeping bag with a bunch of fish. Oh, it is. It's a sleeping bag with a bunch of fish on it. That's a good idea. That's awesome. I'm going to save this. Kind of a lot to save. Oof. My computer's been really laggy, and I think this update is killing it. It's not killing the stream, so to speak, but it is killing the computer. It's been really lagging. Doesn't seem like it to you, but it is. It's reacting very weird. Acting, reacting. Okay. So I think the encampment looks pretty good here. I might add a little bit here as well. As a matter of fact, I think I should. And here's some pillars that I was talking about. You could create your own kind of things going on here. You could create your own roof. It is taking quite a while to load each one of these. Round open. like that. I like me some of that. Put that there. Ah. These goblins, they weren't the best engineers, but you know what? They did the best they could. Engineering. And I'm going to give them props for that. They did the best that they could. So there we go. There's a little tent here that's all cattywampus. They did a good job. They did a good job. Man, really, really wonky on that. Okay, item saved. Yes, okay. All right. I think that's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's a pretty good little hovel here. And what's going to happen is it's going to extend, you know, the chaos is going to extend somewhat over here too, because what I want to happen is when you're walking along here, and this needs to be not so 90 degree. When you're walking along, maybe I'll make a path cut through here or something like that. You're going to see these guys and they're gonna, you know, taunt you or something. And now maybe what I'll do is cut this path off so you're forced to go around here this way and forced to kind of encounter some of this stuff, and at least be able to look at it. And this might be where a new quest pops up, a side quest pops up. Maybe you won't encounter them, but you'll definitely see them, and you can and I think I'll have a automatic quest pop up saying, hey, you see, you know, a little small settlement off in the distance. Maybe I should explore it, or maybe I should go check it out. That kind of thing. I don't want people to do something that's not really in their interest, their best interest. So, you know, I'll give them the option. They could completely skip this or go to it. What I do want is the actions taken here will change what happens out here. So I do want to bring that up. Because this is one giant level, things will kind of things will happen here. Like if something dies, something is dead permanently. Whereas in the game, in Divinity, if you go from Fort Joy to another place, you can't come back, because if you came back, everything would be alive again and reset. That's just the way Osiris works and coding works well. So you want to keep everything on kind of one level, unless you do something like I did with the Pyramid of Shadows, where you travel out to the pyramid and then come back, and depending on whether or not, you know, you did stuff in the pyramid, it'll, you know, change slightly. And whether the pyramid when the pyramid changes, then that's when I have a whole chain reaction of things happening in back in the city here. And it's not a big chain reaction. It's like actually kind of a small little deal, but things happen here. But with this one, things will happen immediately. You don't have to leave the arena or the area for this stuff to happen. Yeah, so, and that's kind of the way I want to take things. I want to make Argent and Revenge of the Giants here. It's going to be this whole big map. And who knows, in the map, in the D&D campaign, there are 2 exits on the west side here, and a couple exits on the east side. So this could potentially expand into quite the big level, quite the big world, all around this whole ocean here, this lake. I guess. I mean, it's an ocean, let's say that. And so it can go around this whole place, and I could build off that a considerable world. So that, I think that would be kind of cool. Anyways, I am starving. I hadn't had lunch at work. I didn't have any lunch or a break or anything like that. So I'm going to go eat dinner. I'm going to log off for today. It worked on my barn today, and I'm tired and hungry. So thanks for tuning in if you did tune in, and I'll catch you on, what day is it? Thursday? Today's Thursday? No. Yes, today's Thursday. I'll catch you guys on Sunday stream. Have a good night, y'all.